Ruth E. Carter, costume designer for Coming to America. This is your seventh film with Eddie Murphy. So, how did this become lucky number seven?
Lucky number seven.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I didn't even realize that it had been seven films with Eddie, all spread out through the years. And
It's like 2 decades, right?
and
Yeah.
he took a big break, like he says. He likes to say he was on the couch. Uh, but I did Dolomite is my name with him just before Coming to America. And so we kind of rolled into Coming to America. It was really nice to continue an artistic journey with such a brilliant comedian and actor as Eddie Murphy. I love working with him, and it was nice to be reunited after his break.
I mean, there's always been like rumors and discussions over the last 30 plus years now about a sequel to Coming to America. So when you were working on these previous films with him, did he ever like bring it up to you? Like, hey, would you be interested if this ever happened?
Yes, it was brought up to me, and I usually, when I work with filmmakers, I hear all of their desires and dreams about the future films that they want to do. That was quite common with John Singleton and Spike Lee as well. So I usually just, go on the ride with them and converse about how exciting it would be to do another Coming to America and what does that entail, what the story might be. And this one turned out to be a continuation from the first one. So we had discussions about it, but nothing's real until, I start and kind of, go along.
Well, Deborah Landis did the first film. So did you talk to her at all about this?
Oh, I've talked to Deborah so many times about Coming to America. I mean, even after I did Black Panther, we talked about Coming to America on panels and just, working with, African royalty and the idea of the Afro future is a conversation that's been had quite a bit. So by the time I got on to Coming to America and I looked at all the details from the first one, I knew that this was not a repeat of the first movie. And I could recognize a lot of the African elements that were brought into that one. But that was, 30 years ago. So now we are in, a much more, a different realm. People are a little more astute about, African royalty. So I wanted to bring something new. I didn't want to mimic the first one. But there were certain key things that I think it was important to have, the barber shop and, the baldricks. And there are certain key elements I think people were waiting to see in the second one. So
Yeah, those are like the nice Easter eggs for the
yeah,
fans who would find. Yeah.
definitely wanted to make sure I paid homage to Deborah's great work from the first one.
Mhm.
When we went into the barbershop, we really tried to match her aesthetic exactly. It's almost like they were stuck in time. So that was fun. It was a fun movie to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the plot of this one is an inverse of the original because it's Lavelle coming to Zamunda from America. So you spend most of the movie in Zamunda. So you got to, just like with Wakanda, create this look for this fictional country. So how did you go about doing that?
Well, this was a comedy, so it was a much more lighthearted approach than Wakanda. I mean, when I was working on Black Panther, I'd say to everyone, "This is not Coming to America, people." When I got on Coming to America, I'd say, "This is not the Black Panther." Very different, and I just wanted to be a little bit more into the fantasy and the lightheartedness of the story, and not get too heavy. So the approach was different, but it was the inverse. We, instead of coming to America, we were going back to Africa. And so I got to explore, how King Akeem lived in Zamunda.
Mhm. There's so many gorgeous like African prints and just like the fabric. So how did you go about sourcing those, and how many did you make yourselves?
Oh, there's no need to make African fabrics. They're
Mhm.
so plentiful, and car fabrics, and I have a fabric curator who's from Ghana, and We worked with a lot of African designers, and we did do the royal print, if you would, of masks, and we put it on, we embroidered it on everything. We just really had fun with, the idea that the royal family would have the royal print, and we could use that in several ways, in several applications.
Mhm. Well, now that like Akeem is king, like how did you like see the evolution for his look and like how he would dress as a king? Because one thing I noticed was like he wore a lot of robes, and I'm not a big robe person, but I loved all of his robes in the movie. Like there's one with like it's like beaded, I think, like it's like trimmed on the side.
Yeah, we worked with a lot of those kinds of things that would be, synonymous with living in your palace home and, wearing the royal robes. I think it was even written in the script somewhere, but, Eddie Murphy is older. He was the same age. Was he 21 when he did Coming to America? The first one. He was quite young, and now we're, older. And so I just really wanted to approach it from, a father, a king, taking over the country, and how he would adorn himself as, the leader of Zamunda with, a young family. And, there were so many cameos in it. It was fun to play his look against the others, like Wesley Snipes and Leslie Jones. So we kind of wanted to make this surrealistic view of the king, so we could play with the other characters too.
Mm-hmm. And one of like the show-stopping costumes is Tiana Taylor's like cage dress, I guess is how you can describe it. So how did you go about making that one?
Oh, we went to a woman who specializes in the cage wear. And she told me about a dress that she made out of chainmail, and it was at her parents' house. Her name is Laura DeWitt. And she sent it to me, and I thought, we needed a gold dress like the first movie had, with the young bride who was jumping on one foot and barking in a gold dress. So we needed a gold dress, and her cage dress was gold, and I thought it was perfect for the scene. So she loaned it to us.
And then at the end we have Maremi's wedding dress,
Yeah.
gorgeous red, that humongous ruffled train. So where did that come from? How heavy was that? How did she walk in it?
Well, the first movie had a train that, like went down the runway.
It's like 100 feet long. Yeah.
So the second movie had to have one too, since there was a wedding at the end. And we had it on a dolly. It was actually on wheels behind her, because it was very heavy, and she needed to walk and could not drag a long train like that. So we had wheels built underneath it so she could walk in. Great.
That was like separate pieces, or one whole dress and just the dolly underneath it?
Oh, the train was separate. We take
Okay.
we take the train off so she can actually, really move around a party. But yeah, so we
No human being can drag that train.
it was owed to the first film as well.
So would you do a Coming to America 3?
Would I do one? Of course I would do one. I would do, I love working with these comedians. They're hysterical, and they're really game for experimenting and having fun and being playful with their costumes. So of course I would.
What do you like foresee like the next like evolution for Zamunda? Or well, I guess we need the story first, but I imagine you would spend more time in Zamunda.
Well, I would guess it would be the daughter who is now king, and she rules Zamunda. So we'd have to see how a woman rules the country.
Mhm. I love Kiki Lane's costumes as well. Like it was like a lot of like Puma inspired outfits.
Oh yeah, we repurposed a lot of athletic wear with Puma, which was one of the sponsors, and then she had a lot of royal wear, royal gowns and things too. So yeah, we had a lot of fun with her.
Well, Ruth, it was great speaking with you. Thank you so much for your time, and fingers crossed for Coming to America 3. I don't know how you work in the number in the title in that one. They'll figure it out.
Thanks.